What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the X-Transbots Big Load, or their version of a Masterpiece scale Constructicon Longhaul. So this is the first in the line of Constructicons from X-Transbots. This was sent to me by Ricky G. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. And I did have a nice phone call with him about it. What's up, Ricky? How you been? What? You're gonna send me your big load? I don't know. Maybe we should go to dinner first. Alright, and now let's take a look at him. Here he is, ready. And he really does look a lot like Longhaul. Let's put the image up there from the cartoon. He really kind of nailed that look. He's got some nice paint to him. There's sort of a metallic green. It's hard to catch on camera, but it's not a flat green. It's got a little bit of a sheen to it. Same for the black. That's got a sheen to it as well. Nice chrome wheels, which we'll see in vehicle mode. Black paint here for the grille. Translucent headlights. The head is done in a pearlescent white, kind of a silver pearlescent, with metallic red for the eyes. That looks really good. Here's the back. He does have a little bit of kibbliness back here on the legs. The back cleans up pretty nice. Everything kind of folds flat. You do have to move all this out of the way for transformation, but relatively clean other than down here. And yeah, pretty good looking version of Longhaul. All right, let's go over his articulation. We'll start with the head. You can actually fold this panel back, so if you want it to look like this, you could have it with this look, which is a nice option. The head is on a rotating swivel, so it rotates around, goes up to there, down to there. Not a lot of movement, but just enough. Shoulders rotate around on a hinge, out to the side on a hinge. There's a butterfly joint, so you can get the arms all the way in, which is kind of a nice feature. Your rotation here at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. You have in and out movement at the wrist, which is rare for X-Transbots. You have double jointed fingers at 2 pins. The bottom 3 fingers are connected, so you can point the pointer finger, but it's a little bit curled. But you can make it work. The thumb is very strange and actually had an issue here. It is on 2 pins. You can bend it, but this joint right here where it rotates is very fragile. It's very thin. And I actually broke one. So here is the other side. You can see it's a very, very thin piece of plastic holding this thumb, and it just broke off articulating it. So be careful, moving this back and forth. There must have been a piece of plastic or something blocking it. But moving down to the waist, you have a waist rotation on a ratchet, which is pretty nice. It's off center, so if you go too far, it does look a little weird in this position, but it does work. If you come to the back, you have an ab crunch here. It's got a locking mechanism, so you got to unlock it. But there you go. And actually, we'll use this in the transformation for the combined mode. For the legs, you have 3 hip skirts. They'll move out of the way. These are a little bit on the thin side, so again, be careful with these pieces of plastic. Legs will go up to there. Back to there on a nice ratchet, out to the side on friction. A little bit heavy, but it works. Rotation at the thigh. Nice double jointed knee, and you have a cover down piece here. I really appreciate it. I like the way they did the knee, and it's accurate too. You have a die cast here in the middle. That knee joint, the hardware there is actually die cast. And then you have a little more die cast down here at the bottom of the foot. This piece right here, you can see it's a slightly different color. That's also die cast. Speaking of that, you have an ankle tilt. Goes up to there, back to there. And then forward and backward on this hinge right here. It's tight right now, but I do worry that might loosen over time. But you do have some nice ankle tilts. If you find that the height is uneven of the legs, just take a look at the way this is angled. It's a double hinge, so you might have one hinge lower, so just straighten them up to make sure you have the same height on both feet. As far as accessories, we get a blaster here, just done in black paint. Pretty accurate looking blaster as well. You can open up the hands. Obviously I'm using one without the thumb, but you can get those into there and you can hold that blaster It's a good looking gun. You also get these, which actually can be mounted here in robot mode. You can just plug them in right here on the arms. And you can have those. And let's see, can we do the gun and that? Yes, you can. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the X-Transbots version of Hauler and the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime, which we always take a look at. You can see it comes in a little bit shorter than these two guys. And just in case you're interested, he is a different color green than Hauler. So if you're planning to put them together, then just know that they're slightly different hues. Now, one thing, shout out to Jermaine, who asked about this, is the weight on these figures. So I just want to do a quick comparison. The X-Transbots Hauler comes in at 1 pound 8 ounces, just about. The Magic Square Optimus Prime comes in at 15 ounces, 15 5/8 ounces. And the Big Load comes in at 14 and 7/8 ounces. So it actually seems to be a lighter figure. Now maybe that's because he's part of a combiner and they don't want to put the weight up top. All right, let's get him transformed into his vehicle mode. And forewarning, it is a challenging transformation, so there's going to be some steps that will be hard to show you on camera, but I'll do my best. So let's start on the top here. Come to here, you can fold that down. You can rotate this around. We're going to undo all this backpack piece here, so you can just lift this up and just release this from here. And we can actually remove this too. That's going to release all of this backpack, so you can unfold all of this. It just makes things a little bit easier. We're going to open up this chest piece here, and it's just kind of clipped in on the inside here and here. So you're just undoing that, so now you can open this up. And now we'll undo all of this. So unpeg it from the front here. Fold this out. Fold these panels out. Come to the inside here, you're going to fold these panels out. And then we're going to take all of this, and the arms are pegged in on the side. So we're going to undo the arms, and I'll show you on this side so you can see there's a tab right there. So undo that tab, you're going to pull down. Again, this is what I'm talking about, bending plastic. You're going to pull outwards on this joint right here. So just shimmy this out on this slider, and that's going to fold backwards. You can rotate the arm down and leave that down for now. Same thing on this side, unpeg it from the top, shimmy it out, rotate it down. This one's a little bit harder because you can't see the peg, but it's under this little piece here. All right, now we'll take these side pieces. They're going to unpeg from here, and they're actually going to end up down here. All right, next we can take care of this. So we're going to lift up on this panel right here. We can rotate this around, leave this here for now. We're going to come to the front here. You can lift up this, and we're going to undo this front section here. Open up this panel, and this is what I was talking about with the faux chest. And there's a little flipping piece here, and I don't know what the difference is. I guess this side is not, it doesn't have these little grooves in them. I think it looks better with the grooves, so I'm going to leave it on that side, but maybe that's just a preference thing. All right, so that's the front. Come to the back here. We can bring this down, leave this up for now. And now we can take care of all this. So you should hold it like this, and we'll take care of all this. Bring this back up. All right, so coming to the front here, you're going to lift up on these. These are going to hinge up and tab in right here. We're going to fold these little teeny panels back, and it's going to fill that little gap right there. And then same on this side, go ahead and bring this up. And this one has a little tab to go into here. So a little puzzle piece tab. I'm going to keep saying it. And then you're going to fold this out from here. This is a very thin piece of plastic, so if you have any trouble at all, I recommend using a spudger to get in there. Don't force it with your fingers. And then same on this side. Grab spudger and then fold that panel out. All right, so here's how we're looking. And now we're going to take care of this backpack piece here. So come to this side. We'll take these, and we have to show both sides because they're different. The little tab right here, that's going to make its way into the side. So bring this all the way around. Tab that in. Tab this in. This panel is going to slide back on a diagonal slider and then plug in right here. And that kind of connects that whole side. All right, and then we'll take care of the other side. So go ahead and open up this little window right here. And we're going to get this folded on top of this little piece here. You have to have it angled backwards to make its way over the top. Make sure it clears around this thing. But you have to have it just far back enough so it gets in here, but so it doesn't catch on the front and back. And it's a little tricky to get the exact angle. I didn't get it. So a little bit more forward. There we go. I got it that time. And then it's going to tab right here on the front. All right, so that's both sides. And now we'll take care of the arms. So come to the bottom here, and I'll show you from this angle. So the arms, these are loose on these sliders. They're going to slide inwards, and there's a T-joint in here. So they have to make their way around that little T-joint right there and rest inside there. We're going to come to the side of the arms, open this up, fold this panel in all the way down, fold the hands back, and you can see they kind of met up in the middle there, those two panels. Have the wrist folded up kind of in a ball like that. We're going to rotate the arms so you have this on the inside. There's a double jointed elbow. On the double jointed elbow, you're going to hold down the bottom one and bend at the top one. So you have it like that. Make sure you're not bending at the bottom. So you're going to have this wrist with the front showing like that. You're going to come into here, and the wrist is going to make its way into here and then underneath here. So make sure everything's folded up. And we'll bring this up. We're rotating on this joint right here. And it's a little tricky to get this all fit through, but it's got to fit right through this little cavity here. It's a tight fit, but it does go right through there. And then make sure your T made it underneath there. You can plug in the wheel into the inside right there. And then this little tab on the front is going to tug it in the front of the arm. There we go. So it should tab in like that. And that's kind of one arm done. So basically same thing on the other side. I'm going to do that off camera, but that's how you want it looking. You want this straight up and down. You want this panel straight on the bottom. And you want this straight here and tabbed in here. All right, now that we got both arms pegged in, make sure you have these two tabs down here and these two tabs here. We can take care of the rest, so you can bring that back down. And now we can close up this. So you can bring this around. There's a little tab on the bottom that's going to tab into that. So bring this one down first, and then plug this in. And then you bring this one down. There's an over-under tab here on the front. So get this squeezed together. Bring it under. And tab it into the front and on the top. Right, and you can just squeeze the whole bumper so it looks nice and straight. So there's the front of the truck done. Now let's do the back. So you can come to this panel, lift this up. There's a little slot right here that's going to fit into a groove right on the back of the tower. So just plug that in. It might come loose on you, but that's how it's going to go. And now we'll take care of these legs. So come to the side. You can fold this up and out of the way. We'll take care of all of this. So unpeg this from here, just tab in there. Open this up, bring that down. We can open up the foot all the way, give you a little room. This is a tricky part that people have been kind of forcing the plastic, and you don't need to. So bring this down. And the thing is, how do you get this peg past this point? And the answer is you fold it so this is further down. Bring this around, and now you straighten up, and you can see it's already past that point. This is on an angle, so it looks like you want to, don't bend this straight because you'll break it. So bend this up until you get it to the right angle. And now plug it in. All right, so that's what it should look like. Come to the inside here, you're going to rotate the wheel up. We can take this panel, open this up, open that up, take this panel here, bring this around, and plug it into the front. All right, and then bring this panel down and bring the wheel up and then rotate it to the outside. And now we're going to bend at the lower knee here so that it bends all the way around. Don't bend at the upper knee, just the lower knee. And that should allow you to bring the wheel and everything all the way around. And we're starting to come together here. And we can bring this panel down. This is a very weird feeling joint, so I would recommend caution with this, but you want this to be straight and flat on the top. That's how it should look. You want this nice and flat. Right. Now we can take care of this and plug this all in to the side. So we can first open up this panel right here. That's going to plug in right here, so get that plugged in. Then we can come to here, and you have to do a little bit of adjusting, but plug this in right here. Like I mentioned, it could be a little tricky to get it all lined up, but 1, 2, 3 panels, 3 tabs for that panel. All right, and then on the bottom here, this wheel has a little slot, a little tab. Bring this up and tab that in like that. Right? And just straighten up the leg bend. Make sure this one's still straight, but that one's bent all the way. All right, so that's one side done. Go ahead and do the other side. I'll do that off camera. I'll be right back. All right, now that we got both sides of the back of the truck done, we can plug them together. So down here, there's a double tab on both sides. You can get that together, line that up, and make sure this one's in as well. And then you can give that a little squeeze. There you go. And then we can come to the top here, and there's 2 tabs here, so you can just get those squeezed together. And make sure everything's even down here. And one thing I want to show you before we're done, there's a peg right here on the back that's going to go into the middle of that black piece. It actually tabs in. So make sure you get that, otherwise you'll have a little trouble lining things up. And by the way, you can use the rear knee bends to open and close the truck bed. All right, and there you have Big Load in his vehicle mode. And while it is not fun at all to get here, it really does look nice. We got the black grill here. It is fully painted pretty much. You got nice big rubber tires. It rolls on those tires, big chrome wheels. Here's the back. As I showed you, you can bend the dump truck back on the bottom knee joints there. Translucent purple for the cockpit. It does look like there's an opening door, but I couldn't actually get it open, so it's just sculpted in there. I don't think you can open it. Translucent headlights up here. All that looks really good. You do have a couple features other than the dumping dump truck. You can store the gun. So if you come to the bottom here, there's 2 little slots on the inside. You can get this kind of wedged in there in between those 2 slots. It doesn't stay perfectly, a little bit too big, but it'll sit a little bit loosely. It might fall out on you, but that'll go in there. Then you can take these 2, and I really like this. This plugs in up here. And now you have guns on the top of the thing, and I think that just looks awesome. And then you have a couple options here for the front grille. So if you get a spudger, you can pop this out, lift this up. So the first option is you can open this up, flip this around, and now you have that look. It's kind of a flat surface, whereas this one has, you know, the grid surface. And then you can slide this down on this, just off of these two little pegs. Be careful, it's very thin. And then take the new piece. Here's the new piece. Here's the kind of curved one. I think the curved one looks more realistic to the vehicle, but if you want the flat one, you can. Plug that in. Fold that down. Make sure this is still all squared down here. Bring this down and then tab that in. And there's the other grill option. Me personally, I think it looks a lot better with this. I think this is just more of a realistic vehicle, but nice to have the option if you want a more cartoon accurate look. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. He is bigger and looks nice next to him. And then there's the X-Transbots counterpunch. You could see he towers over him as a vehicle. So really nice size vehicle here. All right, now let's get him into combine mode. And this is one I think people have been either getting wrong or missing because there's a couple tricky things you need to do. But first, we're going to actually rotate at the waist. You can just bend it down a little bit, rotate 180 degrees. We're going to utilize the ab crunch here and lift up on this joint and bring this all the way down. You can see that exposed a little slot. This peg is eventually going to make its way into there, but we need to do a couple other things first. Go ahead and take the wheels, rotate that down and in. Same on this one, unpeg it. They're pegged in right here. Down and in. And so that's what it should look like on the back. And that's going to sit down like this, and now we can take care of all of this. So come to the inside, unpeg these outer panels, and then bring this down and just leave that down for now. You can rotate this small panel in and rotate that down. Same on this side, bring this out, unpeg it, accordion this down, bring this down, and slide that panel down into there. And now we'll take care of this. This can be a little bit tricky. Unpeg these two. Open up this. We're going to bring this around this way. So it's just slightly open. That's going to allow you to bring this around. So you can bring this panel up and around and fold it down like that. Bring that back straight. Rotate this down. All right, I'm going to show you again because that is a tricky sequence. You're going to unpeg this. We're going to rotate this up so it's back a little bit. I'm going to fold this in. That's going to allow you to clear that little tab. You don't need to bend the plastic past plastic, which is what I've been seeing in some of the reviews. And then you're going to fold that down. So it should look like that. Fold that down. Now we can peg these two back together. All right, now we have this set up. We're going to bring this forward on this panel. This tab on the front is going to plug in to here. So get that pegged in. You might have to hold this, give it a little bit of leverage. And you should have this on a little bit of an angle. Then we can take care of these. These are going to accordion down. There's a peg here and a peg here on the inside to tab in. So get those lined up, and then the wheel has a peg as well. So bring this down, tab that in, make sure it made on the inside as well. And same on this one, bring this down and align that, align this, align this. All right, and there's combine mode. And hard to tell really how it's gonna fit together and the level of stability it's gonna have. I can say this is pretty solid as a piece on its own, but as far as how things are going to fit together with it, I mean, I can see some tab slots there. I'm not really sure exactly how things are going to end up pegging in on this mode, but knowing the transformation that I just went through, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I just don't know. But there you go for combine mode. So final recommendations on the X-Transbots Big Load. And this was a tough call for me on the score, but I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 partial recommendation And let me just say, I think the robot mode is brilliant. It looks really good. They nailed the look of it. It still looks intimidating while looking cartoon accurate, which is, no small feat, especially with the Constructicons. The vehicle mode also looks really good. I love that they use rubber tires. Everything just kind of feels and looks really nice in that vehicle mode. But the build quality is typically where X-Transbots fails, and this one is no different. It's the build quality. The thumb, as an example, very, very thin joint, not a great design in general. The fingers are okay, but the thumb is just very strangely designed. And then some of the panels and hardware for the transformation are very awkward. There's very thin, small pieces, and they have to move past other pieces in a certain sequence. And it's easy to get hung up and get caught up. I make it kind of look easy in my videos, but, a normal consumer is probably going to run into some collision and potentially break things. And it doesn't feel robust enough to last lots of transformations. But if you're going to display it in robot mode or vehicle mode and just leave it like that, I think it's really good for that. Now, the other thing is combined mode. We did show the combined mode. I don't know how this is going to hold up in combined mode. Given the hardware I'm seeing and given the quality of the plastic, the thickness of the plastic, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if it's going to do it. But for me, this is going to be a pass. That's it for today. Thanks to Ricky for allowing me to take a look at his copy. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.